Just wanted to inform the attendees that Somesh will also be putting up a couple of poll questions in between the session. So maybe after every 5 or 6 slides, we will be putting up a poll question on the screen. So request you all to participate and we will be giving out the poll answers as well at the end.
Great. So let me start by defining what is managed services in the industry. We have heard this term in different forums, but essentially in the IT services, managed service is nothing but a practice of transferring or outsourcing day-to-day management of business or IT services. The key word is transferring or outsourcing day-to-day operations of business and IT services, and the service provider typically takes accountability of the functionality and the performance of the service, and it's bound by service level agreements or SLAs. As the engagement matures, managed service providers have also tied agreements which is based on outcomes, and we'll come to this topic later. But this is the industry definition across any verticals in terms of what is managed services. So I wanted to set the context. What do we specifically do at SunGard? Before that, I would like to also focus about the enterprise value chain. So essentially, any organization, or let me give an example of a bank, all IT applications and investments are essentially put into two buckets. One is the run and operate, where you try to drive operational efficiencies, reduce cost, which is around infrastructure and application management. And the second one is how are you focusing and putting your investments in terms of changing. So what you call change the bank. That could be around new service delivery models, mobile integration, new application integration, which will enhance customer experience or essentially bring down the cost. So managed services is essentially also drivers in terms of either run and operate or change for any business function. Coming to drivers for managed services, typically CIOs are looking for providing more transparency to internal business partners, create more efficiency and transparency around the outsourcing agreements. Of course, with the marriage of hardware and software, virtualization and labor arbitrage is a big driver. And of course, open source and hardware acceleration is also one particular field where a lot of CIOs are focusing on. We also took a snapshot of a recent survey of CIOs, and the survey clearly indicates 39% of large banks expect to increase their spending on IT and BPO contracts in a pretty short period of time, which is 24 months. The total IT spend in outsourcing is going to grow at approximately 11% CAGR. And more than 1/3 of finance CEOs expect to outsource a business process in the next 12 months, which these three examples out of the snapshot of the survey itself speaks about the opportunities which exist and how we could have a pie in the sky in terms of managed services. What is the current landscape and market potential of the managed services market? Again, going back to the study and the survey, it definitely has a prediction that the managed services market is going to nearly double over the next 5 years, which essentially means that every person on this call today has an opportunity to learn what's going in the industry, what are the new upcoming or emerging technologies they could learn and make their careers in this particular field. More interestingly, which is backed by facts, currently the managed services market is approximately 256 billion in 2018, which is a sharp increase. High growth areas remain managed infrastructure and managed mobility. Infrastructure means on-premise as well as remote infrastructure management. Data center, co-location and managed hosting is a driver for all products and solutions which are either going on the cloud or are being offered as ASP or application service provider model. and it cuts across different industry verticals. As you can see in the last bullet point of the slide, the adoption of managed services is rapidly growing in information technology, high tech, communications, in the BFSI or banking, finance and insurance sector, as well as public sector, which caters to public utilities. So how does an enterprise essentially transition its current IT infrastructure or application or business process into a managed services model? Of course, it can't be done overnight, but having the right vendor selection, one can definitely have a roadmap. And this diagram clearly depicts how can an enterprise IT evolve into a managed services model. On the left box, what you see is a completely in-house or a customer managed environment where everything from the rack power space or the rack and stack up to the application level layer is managed in-house or is managed by the customer. As it slowly transitions, you can see how the white space box essentially has been taken over by the vendor or the partner. It has been done in a steady phase. One can do a complete takeover or manage it by what you call lift and shift. But the ideal transition risk-free model is to go step by step. And as you can see that first you look at your real estate and facilities costs, then you slowly transition your systems and platforms, and finally the end-to-end services, so to speak, to the managed services provider. On the below is self-explanatory. It's basically do-it-yourself to co-location. IaaS is infrastructure as a service. Then comes PaaS, which is platform as a service, and finally software as a service, which is completely as a cloud-based model.